I'm a good guy.
You are a good guy.
Let me tell you why. So next door is putting in a pool.
Oh, wow.
And, not a lot on at the moment. So,
You've been helping out.
Well, I wandered out the front and the guy was setting up for the cement truck to come. And how you going, mate? Yeah, good.
Because that's a big when they work on a time frame cement because it goes hard.
Yeah, that's right. And with a pool, I think you got to do it and you got to let it set.
Oh, God.
Like for months or something.
That's when the unions used to do their negotiations on building sites when the cement trucks were there. All right, shut down. It's not an old trick. An old trick.
And he said, look, I can't move that car up the road. Do you mind if we park the cement truck across your driveway? And I've gone, mate, no problem at all. I'll get my car out, park it down the road. It's yours.
You're a good guy.
I'm a good guy. That's the sort of guy I am, because I know when my tree man comes, I don't just go cut my trees. I go cut my trees, sing out when you want a coffee.
You've got your coffee machine, especially.
Got the coffee machine, especially.
Did you offer the cement guy a coffee?
Well, I was heading towards it, but something happened.
Oh.
Okay.
It's not even your house.
Not even my house.
Not your pool.
Not my pool. Not my house. Good luck to them. And by the way, the other day I cut some trees down, and I rang my tree man. I said, I've got a pile of stuff. Can you come and put it in your machine and chop it all up? He goes, sure, no worries. We're around the corner. We'll come. Came, half-hour work, putting it into the machine.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't charge me. See?
Right.
A coffee and a biscuit at the right time.
Yeah, it goes a long way.
Goes a long way. Anyway, so they're doing the thing. They park across the driveway. I thought, go out and have another chat. Not much on.
Yeah.
How's it going, fellas? And I thought I'd make a little joke. And can you guess what the joke was?
Are you parked across my driveway?
No.
No?
It was a bit more darker than that. I went,
I've got a body.
yes.
Can you put in the foundations for me?
I got a couple of bodies in the backyard. Can you whack a bit of cement over the fence and take care of it for me? And he laughed, and the other guy goes, yeah, like the Rialto. And I went,
right, yeah.
And he goes, what? I go, what? He goes, yeah, 11 bodies.
11?
Well, I'm going, number one, how do you know that?
Yeah, how do you get a number on that?
Yeah, and number two, who is this man standing in my driveway that knows about bodies in the Rialto?
Well, I've heard rumours like that about some of those buildings, but I've never heard the specific number.
But Sloan and I were talking about it. How does it? It's not like there's 11 bodies and they're looking for, is there someone you? Is there someone you ring? You go.
Yeah. Well, you ring a concreter by the sound of it.
Well, that's right. I mean, if you're in the concreting industry, are you getting phone calls for? And if you're putting a pool in, are people going, "Hey, Dave, are you putting a pool in?"
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. I am.
Can you
whack a body in there?
Can I whack a body?
Yeah,
in?
but we don't want it sticking out of the concrete, so it's not very smooth. There's
Tony, what? The leg is poking out up the deep end.
Does it weaken the? I mean, when we go to the Rialto now, we're going to be thinking, well, are the foundations good because it's got 11 bodies in there? It could be decomposing and ruining the foundations. Surely it's not
Surely
good.
It's a questionable thing. When they go to cement school, they'll go.
Yeah, okay. They do an afternoon at TAFE.
Yeah,
bodies in the concrete.
Bodies in the concrete. And is it like they go one by one, like
on top of each other?
And Selena was saying, is it goes floor by floor. So you're not pouring floor number one, and then a few weeks later you pour floor number two. Is that right?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So you've got this. So if it was a 50,
I believe most of the concrete's in the bottom though.
you would think
the foundations.
If you were going to choose a spot,
You go foundations.
wouldn't you? But
Because there's a chance there's renovation and stuff could unearth them, but foundations, no one's going into the foundations of the Rialto. But 11 seemed an excessive amount. I could understand the concreter getting the call and going, we've got a body. Can you put it in? He's like, yeah, no worries. Phone rings the next day. We've got another body. And he gets to like 9 or 10. He's like, come on, guy.
Really?
We're running out of
words out on the street that you're happy to, you're obliging. But
also, how do they get the body there? How do they get the body? And when do they do it at night? See, this is the thing about when people talk about like conspiracy theories like that, they don't often think through the logistics of it.
No.
You know what I mean? So how do they get the bodies there? Like, so a bloke in a white van, because bodies, I suppose they could disguise them as building material, but they're kind of long and heavy, aren't they, a body?
It seems like bodies are very hard to...
And they're often carried in a rug. wrapped up in a rug.
Yeah.
With blood and stuff.
Up in a roll of carpet often.
Yeah, roller carpet.
Yeah.
But I assume these guys are professionals. They'd use plastic and gaffer tape. But even then, a body looks like a body. It doesn't look like some planks or...
Yeah.
A lot of thinking.
A lot of
11's a lot.
11's a lot.
That concrete will be really pissed off by... Look, I said no, we're not getting double figures. We're up to 10. We can't even... Oh, okay, one more.
Wait for the... Can you wait till the third floor?
But who are these people that are being buried in foundation? I know there's missing people all year, but are they like bikies or criminal? They'd be criminal figures. I don't think it's random people that say I accidentally run over a cyclist and kill them. And I put them in my boot, and I just go like, oh my god, I've killed someone. What do I? Oh, I'll ring bloody Joe the concreter. We'll get him on the line, and
once you've done one, and you're known that you'll do it, surely. Oh, as you said before, you're going, oh.
Well, mate, you know what they say. I try to get out, but they pull me back in. Once you're in that world.
Yeah.
So that happens in movies all the time where just one last job.
Maybe I shouldn't have said anything on this podcast. Maybe people, now they'll ring me.
Yeah.
And go, who was the guy at the front? I don't know who it was in my swimming pool. I don't know. So,
if you start to smell something really bad from that swimming pool, we know what's going on.
Yeah, well, anyway, towards you people out there that are thinking about dumping a body, then just, don't do it. Yeah. If you were bumped off, what would you be your preferred place of... What a horrible thing to ask you.
What? I don't want to be in the foundations of the reality.
No, I don't either.
No.
I'd rather
an all-you-can-eat restaurant. Or something that speaks to me. A McDonald's. Foundations of a new McDonald's.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
because I was thinking...
With a plaque on the wall.
I'd go... Because a lot of time they do it at sea, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Osama bin Laden buried at sea because they didn't want a gravesite where people could go and leave flowers and say you were the king.
Yep.
Where would you like? You're an ocean.
I'd go for ocean. Yeah.
We'll have a ceremony. We'll be on surfboards.
You would make a circle.
We'll make a circle.
Yeah.
We'll pour out the ashes.
Have you thought about where you want your ashes?
No, that's interesting. No.
Should I not talk about this? Because my gauge of what people want to talk about is a little bit out at the moment.
Well, I think the ocean's a great idea for you.
Yeah, for you.
For me, my backyard. But you know what happens? One of my friends bought a house. And a month later, there's a knock on the door, and this guy goes, "Oh, my parents' ashes are buried in the backyard. Can I just go and say a few words?" And he's like,
"Oh, that's nice."
He's like, "Oh, I suppose so." Month later, my uncle's buried in the... Oh, Jesus Christ. How many people have got out there? He's like, I'm not running a cemetery here. Like...
Yeah, because I know at my golf course, you're not allowed to.
Yeah, but people do that, don't
they? They do anyway. They go, what they say is you're not allowed to, but don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know when Russell Coit did it.
Would you go in the sand trap?
Well, that's nice. I know when Russell Coit did it, we did it on top of his old mate. He passed on, and he just sort of spread his ashes out there in the beautiful Tanamine Desert or whatever it was called. And then he shakes them and they blow back into his face.
The classic.
Anyway, wherever we do you in your backyard, I won't. I'll
pay respect. Drive past the back alley and toot the horn.
I reckon you'd speak. I reckon you would speak at my funeral.
Yeah, sure.
Do you reckon I would speak at yours?
I don't know. I don't have a surplus. I'll have to blow up the Lilo and paddle out, and it'll start to. Oh no, Dave's drowning.
Anyway, sorry to start the podcast.
You can speak at mine. Yeah. Here comes the music. I'll play this music. We'll play this music.
Play this music.
Absolutely.
Hello and welcome to Somehow Related. Now please welcome your hosts Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
Well, welcome. There's only two topics we get, and we've got to work out how they're related. And we should mention we're part of the Melbourne Podcast Festival, which is coming up in late July.
Yeah.
We're doing Saturday during the day.
During the day. Love you to come along.
The Jam Factory in Melbourne.
Yeah, and, we're both people.
Well, we'll have a chat if you want.
We'll have a chat, except for that bloke last time. He just barged in backstage.
Who was that?
We were there with Ross Noble, and he just sort of wandered in and then started having a crack at Ross about something, and Ross was very obliging. But you go, mate, there's a line here, and see that curtain? You don't part the curtain. You don't just wander in and out. But you're good. You're a good. I know when I'm at a gig with you, and we go, we're heading off now, you'll stop and chat.
My older brother said that he's come down from Queensland because our parents are sick, and he said, you've got to ease with people.
You do. You're very good. You're a good, I would say you're a professional chatter.
Professional talker.
You're a professional small talker.
Well, we'll see how that goes. And if Glenn has passed away, all right, we will spread the ashes at the Jam Factory. We'll give some out. We'll give some out to people.
So you do the podcast, and I'd just be on a little urn there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I do? I come out and we play the da-na-na-na,
Yep.
and then I just go, I get all the lights come down, I go, so really sad news, guys. Glenn has passed away. And you can do the same for me, too, because I'm unhealthy.
Fair deal. Yeah,
Glenn has passed away. So I was going to get a special guest like Ross Noble or someone to do it, or Sam Pang, but they weren't available because they're all at Glenn's funeral. But I tell you what, everyone gets a bit of the ashes.
Oh, yeah.
So
Everyone gets
like a church, like the communion. They come up, I give them a bit of the ash. And then they ask for their money back.
What would I have in there? I'd have a donut in there. I'd have I'd have a burger that we have after.
It's not
the
a show bag.
Why not?
Oh, okay, all right.
You got to go home with. But why? Here's something that I find interesting.
Yeah.
I think there should be invited. It should be a guest list that you write before you go.
Good idea.
Because at your birthdays, at Christmas, you have so you're going, these are the people on my list, and if you don't make the cut, you don't get to go.
Well, I just know that when you have a funeral, you'll get some random dudes turning up
You
that
go
will
and
want to sit down the front.
Yeah, and you're going, I didn't know you that well.
I was an extra on a Russell Coit episode, and they want to sit down the front and cry and pretend, and
and
then your family are pushed up the back.
Yeah, and this is you're just there for a photo opportunity.
Anyway, look, let's get our two topics. We're going to start...
very dark
today.
dark.
But that's
very dark.
It's life. What are the topics, Sam?
Selfies and shark attacks.
Shark Attack, great song by Split Ends. You know that song?
No, I don't.
Shark Attack. It was a very early one. This is interesting because last night I took my cat to the vet hospital.
Jeez, you've had a bad run.
Poor old Emily's agitated and she's walking around, so we took her to this hospital, which was great.
Agitated, meaning she's a little bit dizzy?
Well, she's an old cat. She's 19. Normally she just sleeps all day. But I said, it's like she's been wandering around. She's been looking out the window. And I said, it's like she knows some climatic disaster's about to occur. If there was an earthquake or a tidal wave, I reckon the cat was onto it. But
snakes know that when an earthquake's coming.
But the thing I learned, so we're sitting in the vet, right, and they have a screen and they had like a documentary on. Then it just started bringing up random slides of animal facts, and there was one about sharks. Sharks constantly produce teeth, and they produce almost 16,000 in a lifetime.
Yeah, they roll forward. They come out.
Is that what happens?
Yeah, they're sort of lined up, ready to go, I think. I think this is especially with the white point, and there's a row of teeth, and then behind that you have another set ready to go. It's a bit like Young Talent Time. You know how they used to have have all the people?
Yeah.
Then they would move
when
through.
When Tiny Tina Arena gets to Large Tina Arena, they just replace her.
Yeah, so there's always someone ready to go. That's the great thing about that show.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's a smart thing. There's always a new one to, don't get smart with me. Because
when I was in the gang show, Johnny Young came along and recruited, and he only recruited he wasn't interested in the 16, 17-year-olds. He was recruiting the 10 and 12-year-olds, and a kid called Tim, bang, was in Young Talent Time. But you're right, he was out the back for a little bit, and then they just brought him forward.
I'm not. By the way, I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying it's wrong.
No.
I'm saying it's good. Because
it's a system.
Yep. Move it through. Move him through.
Because of course, when little Timmy broke his voice from
see you later, mate.
Close your eyes and I'll kiss you to my good night, Australia.
How is he still
Johnny Young? I think he's still alive.
Because I saw him the other night on Spicks and Specs. I think were you on with him?
I don't think I was on with
He was
Johnny
very
Young.
good. Gee,
he had a great song. He had that "Step Back a Little and Fall in Love." Remember that song?
That's a great song.
And fall in love. Yeah, it was Johnny Young.
Step back and then
fall in love. Anyway, do you want to hear some other facts that I learned from sitting in the vets for 2 hours?
Yep.
Elephants can smell water from 20 kilometres away.
Yeah. What's handy?
It's handy to know. Seahorses mate for life and hang on to each other's tails when they float around.
Seahorses mate for life.
Yeah, seahorses mate for life.
You want to because you're not an attractive-looking animal.
They're beautiful seahorses.
But they do that little fluttery thing,
yes.
don't they? I mean, they've got to be vulnerable out there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Otters hold hands when they sleep at night so they don't drift away. You've seen the cute photos.
Yeah.
Penguins, type of penguins, I'll keep going. Type of penguins propose to each other with using a rock. They present a rock.
No.
It's like us buying someone a drink. They got rocks. They get a rock.
That's fantastic.
An attractive rock. They had a photo of the penguin presenting an attractive rock. There's your rock. Now let's get to it.
What's amazing is that they can find each other.
Yeah.
Because, let's be honest, they all look alike.
That's true.
So it must be a smell thing. It must be
That's
and
true.
they always look like they're well dressed
Yes.
because they've all got their what do you call it, black tie.
Yeah. They look like a nun.
Oh, yeah, more of a
where
nun,
did I
yeah.
hear that joke? I saw that on a TV show, and the kids were like, "Oh, that's a terrible joke." Where the guy, the seven dwarfs have a meeting with the Pope,
Oh yeah.
and the Pope goes, "Have you got any questions?" And Dopey goes, "Are there any midget nuns in the Vatican?" And they go, "No." And he goes, "No, there's no midget nuns in the Vatican." Any other questions? Are there any midget nuns in Italy? No, there's no midget nuns in Italy. Dopey, one last question. Are there any midget nuns in the world? And the Pope goes, "No, there are no midget nuns in the world." This is a bit rude, so turn off, kids. And so all the other seven dwarfs started chanting, "Dopey had sex with a penguin." Have you heard that joke before?
No.
Oh, I heard it on Nova. Jokes aren't funny with Sam Pang. He didn't laugh, but I reckon that's a funny
Pretty
joke.
good joke. I didn't see it coming. I thought, I'll know this one. But
It's
no.
a funny one.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So,
that's
yes.
enough of the facts that I got from the vet.
What do I know about sharks?
You know, you're a surfer. You've seen one.
No, well, I have never. People, look, I've probably told this on the podcast before, but someone was nearly attacked right next to me, and then anyway, I paddled. Someone yelled shark, and nobody moved. I'm going. He just said shark, and we're not going anywhere. And then I went. I'm going to go in, and it was like a bad dream. I couldn't catch a wave, and then he paddled in as well. And I said, "Did you say shark?" He goes, "Yeah." One came up and tried to bite the back of my board.
Oh,
but they have a bit of a nibble to see what things are. And then a bloke came over in a canoe-y scenario and started to belt it. It was only about 4 foot, but my brother saw one in the same spot years ago, so it would have been a shark. I mean, the sharks are there. It's just a matter of whether they, especially over in West Australia, especially when there's deep water.
Yeah, then shallow water.
Often they'll be cruising up and down the deep water like a highway. Then they'll go, "Hey guys, what? The buffet's on."
Buffet's on, yeah. Man, Peter Roseman showed us that spot in Cottesloe where the guy the shark pushed people out of the way and bit a guy who was wearing a black wetsuit on the leg and killed him instantly.
Yeah,
bit his leg
in
off.
shallow water.
Shallow water?
Yeah. Well, I did a gig over there, and I think you might have done it with me too. I did a gig over there in West Australia with Pete, and part of the fee was getting a place down at Bunker Bay.
Oh, you went down there.
Yeah, and the guy said the place is great, blah, 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 but just be careful. Someone was taken there last year.
Oh.
And then I was like, oh, my God.
Taken by a UFO? Taken?
By I was going to say someone from the Young Talent team. So anyway, we're driving down there, and we stop we're somewhere on the way, and Selena, we're in a shop, and Selena's trying on some outfits, and the guy said, "Where are you going?" I said, "Down Bunker Bay," and he goes, "Watch out for sharks." And I said, "Oh, that's what we're told." He goes, "I said someone was taken last year." He goes, "Yeah, I was the guy that pulled him out."
Oh, that's terrible.
And and I won't go into the details of the story, but it's as horrific as you could imagine. And here's what this guy did: he saw the guy get taken, and so he went in and he watched it all unfold. He said, "I'm a waterman," so he put his flippers on and went out and got him.
Wow, what a hero!
What a hero!
And that guy died. The guy that pretty bad.
I don't want to. I don't want. He told the story.
That guy would have been traumatized.
Well, interesting. He went out, got him, brought him back in, and sort of passed him over to friends who stayed with him, and then he just went home. But he was traumatized, and they all received awards for their bravery. He because he went home, he didn't receive anything, and he said, "I can't go there anymore. I can't. I wasn't able to surf because the trauma of terrible. But you can't imagine. All I know is that when you're in the water." And I've been surrounded by dolphins and turtles and seals and things like that. You realise you're in their world.
Yeah.
You realise how hopeless it would be. And
you've got to stop surfing at SeaWorld, mate.
Yeah.
Their world.
Here's the thing: if they, this is what you got to remember. Number one is you've got to attack back.
Really? You got to fight back?
Yeah.
I like Mick. What's his name? Punched him in the face. Punched the shark.
You punch him in the nose. You
Mick
punch
Fanning?
him. Yeah. Punch him in the eye is the and they will. May not, because often when they go to attack, they're just on a.
Don't punch him in the tooth because they got 15,000 coming. They don't care. Is that why those guys at school always had the shark tooth around their neck? Because there's so many of them out there.
Yeah.
You know, the surfing dude would have the shark tooth? Like, wow, that's not so impressive now that I know that each shark produces 16,000 teeth.
Yeah.
Like a tooth factory.
Yeah. Poor old sharks, though.
And then we eat them. Flake.
Oh. What about that shark fin soup? That's when they would get a shark, and I think they would just cut the fin off.
And let it go.
Oh. It's like cutting wings off an arrow. It's just absolutely terrible.
Kill it at
the time.
Yeah, kill it. I love flake. Apparently flake's not a good fish to eat, but...
I love it.
Oh, it tastes good. Nothing better than a fry, bit of flake.
Flake, it holds together. It doesn't fall apart.
They're coming for us. We're getting them.
What are you? Are you going deep fried? Are you going grilled?
Yeah, no, fried.
Deep fried with batter on it.
Oof,
yeah. Do you eat all the batter?
Yeah.
No, I don't mean that, because I just find it's a heavy. Sometimes
it's a heavy experience.
It's a heavy load. It's a heavy load.
Heavy, man.
So
sharks. Well, we could talk about selfies.
I'm just trying to think. There must be. What's interesting in Australia, though, it depends on where you go. Because if you go, there are a lot of sharks on the New South Wales coast, because they have different methods for protecting.
Those nets.
They have nets, and then they have drum lining. And I think in New South Wales they have a different system. I don't know what it is, but I know that surfer friends of mine from Queensland won't go to New South Wales.
Why not?
To surf, because there's more sharks.
Oh.
And it's. I know when we were up there recently, it crossed my mind. I was out. I surfed up at Watergoes Bay. Watergoes. And you were just surrounded by dolphins. You go there, whereas down here in Victoria, you do see things. We saw a massive seal on the beach the other day. Fantastic. And there are sharks, but the New South Wales coast does seem like, and they sort of say there's been more shark attacks, but there's also been more people in the water.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, more and more people in the water.
Yeah. So it's
interesting.
So
the sharks aren't hungry. People always go, "Oh, the shark's hungry because the ocean's being depleted of fish for the sharks to eat." But is it just it's a numbers game? More people.
Tips, I reckon. River mouth. Don't be swimming in a river.
Oh, don't be swimming in the river mouth.
Yeah, and I reckon places like the rivers like Noosa and the Gold Coast, places like that. The bull sharks, they're so aggressive.
Yeah, right.
River mouth, not good. What else? What else can I tell you? Do you know the sharks don't have any bones? They're all cartilage.
Oh, they got no bones in a shark.
Yeah.
Oh.
So bones, like.
No wonder we love flake. No bones.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful. And a shark. What's that thing? Your relationship has to be like a shark. It's got to keep on moving forward. Otherwise, a shark has to move forward. Otherwise, it dies.
Yeah, right.
But that would be most fish, wouldn't it? Well, some fish, like, they can just sit.
Yeah,
but sharks are always...
They're always moving.
Do they sleep? Maybe
they must have some form of sleep.
Which fish is it that shuts half its brain down? Or is that a horse? Or is that a cow? One of them shuts half the brain down, keeps one eye open and one eye... Because I always imagine that, at night in the ocean, it's pretty dark down there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So wouldn't you swim into things?
You'd reckon. They must have a good radar system, sharks.
They must know. But maybe they have a little hidey hole that they go to. But sharks are just at night in the ocean. What are you doing?
Not much. But maybe they're eating constantly. Maybe they're out looking for stuff.
Because I know over in West Australia, what this guy said was, don't surf around September, because that's when the whales are migrating. And they will follow the whales and either eat a dead one or they have... krill, or maybe the sharks will hang around the whales.
Yeah, right.
So that's a bit of a tip. And of course, the famous movie
Jaws.
Jaws?
Jaws.
Did it scare you or members of your family?
We went and saw it in November, and then we went down the beach for 6 weeks.
Bum, 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 bum.
So
Very
scary.
good film. And then you watch it now, and the animatronics is really
tacky.
but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It still works because you know that there's a threat. You know, we talked about this the other week. And you go, but they use music well cut. You know. Okay, selfies.
Selfies. That word is an Australian invention. I remember reading about it. It was like an agricultural science student who put it on the web and said he took a selfie. I'm sure it was an Australian who invented the word selfie.
Apparently, there's like 90 million per day.
Wow, 90 million.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't take many selfies. I do occasionally with if you go.
I was looking at my phone. You wouldn't say that I was a selfie guy, would you?
No.
I'm gonna.
You've got a few.
Well, I brought up because I went to photos because I was making an album of the grandchild, and it tells you what you've got on your phone.
Yeah.
And you've got videos, you've got live photos, you've got portraits, you've got panoramas, you've got time lapse, you've got slow mo. I'm reading it off my phone now. What do you reckon my number one is?
Is it selfies?
It's selfies. I couldn't believe it.
Porn shots?
And coming in at number 2 is screenshots. I'm a big screenshot guy.
Screenshot too, yeah.
But I never thought I've got 499 selfies.
Wow. Are they always celebrities or?
No, they just well, I mean, sometimes it's the easiest way to take a photograph. If you and I are somewhere, you just go, hang on. But having said that, I'm not just taking a photograph of you. I'm going, I'll get in this as well.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. 400.
But I mean, I've been out with you and you get a lot of selfies with people, but you do that thing where you take the phone off them.
Oh, yeah, otherwise it just turns into
because often people don't know how to work their phones.
So you do it, you flip it, especially the older generation, which is kind of our demographic. You just go, because you go, can I get a photo? You get, and the guy goes, I don't know, what do I have to do? How do please, just, can we...
But you know what the thing is, most men don't care, but a lot of women look and go, oh, no, that's no good, I don't look good in that, let's do another one. You're like, come on.
Yeah. Here's the trick to a selfie, though. Hold the camera high.
High, yeah, that's right.
Yep.
That's right.
And I've got to be honest with you.
If you go under, the double chins are there.
Oh, yeah. And always, check the light in the room.
Yes.
Because if you put the window in the background, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to get very silhouette-y.
Yeah.
Spin around to the light source, and they always go, you've done this before. And I say, well, seriously. What else? You know what? Even though they are kind of embarrassing, a selfie taken with a selfie stick is very impressive.
Oh, very good, isn't it?
Very impressive.
They are embarrassing to carry around.
They are, and there are some places in the Vatican.
Europe,
in the Vatican, no
Vatican.
Selfie sticks here.
And the Louvre, in Paris, there's guys that go around and yell at you if you have a selfie stick.
Yeah, I mean they are kind of intrusive, but you know.
Well, they're kind of awkward. They're very daggy.
I was thinking the other day, if you're an artist, right?
Mm.
And you go, what are you going to paint today, Dave? Oh, I could do a landscape, or I could do some still life, or I could do a nice sunset, or maybe just a bit of bush with some
self-portrait.
Or are self-portraits the first selfies?
Yeah, definitely.
Get over yourself, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things you can paint. What are you doing this afternoon? I'm going to paint myself. You? Yes.
Well, like who did a famous...
Get someone else to do it. Get Rembrandt to do it. No.
Van Gogh did a self-portrait.
Van Gogh?
Yeah, Van Gogh.
I'm trying to think who the big ones are. Picasso?
Did Picasso do some? Oh, yeah, but he would have had a weird face like he's been in an accident.
Yeah, like square ears and stuff like that.
Salvador Dali? Surely
Dali would have. Yeah. Warhol,
probably.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're an artist, why not paint yourself? Why not?
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, it does feel a bit indulgent.
It does. And also, you're going to talk yourself up a bit.
You're going to go and see that bit I don't like about
double
myself?
Chin? Nah. A blemish on the skin? Nah.
Geez, you look a bit romantic in that show. Well, that's the way I saw it. I'm an artist.
You'll come around to my house. What have you done? You painted a portrait of Tom Cruise? No, that's me. What are you talking
about? Because it is quite addictive, apparently, because people can't stop.
Taking selfies?
Yeah. It's like a dopamine hit, I think. I mean, obviously, you do a selfie, you send it out, and you get likes, And you can touch them up. Can't you touch them up?
As long as I've just got on Instagram recently.
Yeah.
There's a lot of selfies on there. But what do they say? The professional Instagram models have two phones to do their selfies. There's some technique where they use
2 phones.
Yeah, I don't know what, but they often have 2 phones. Yeah, and they get that. I've seen them for sale at the shops. A selfie light. Have you seen that little circle light you can buy for selfies?
Everybody looks good in that light.
Yes.
Everyone looks good. Yeah, if you do, I know.
If you want to get on Tinder or whatever, get one of those lights.
Yeah, and it's a ring around the lens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get one of those.
Get one of those. Take it to the podcast festival.
Apparently, the duck face is very common.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
They suck in their lips.
What does that change?
I think initially it was kind of like a Paris Hilton kind of funny, pretending to be a supermodel. That's it. And now just teenage girls do it and stuff, and it's just like embarrassing.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, selfies. I don't know what else to say about selfies. They're kind of annoying, but they're part of the world now. Yeah. And if you do a joke about it in stand up, I talk about how when my mum took photos, said she was crazy. She didn't take photos of herself. She would turn the camera around and take photos of everyone else.
Yep.
It's called a selfless.
That's
selfless.
the joke. That's nice.
Never goes that well. Anyway. But we're taking more photos because, of course, in our day, Mum would get one roll of film, like 24 photos, and that was all you had for $9.85.
Yeah.
You had 24 photos.
Well, you had to sort of ration them out because...
3 for your birthday.
Yeah.
And there were 4 boys in our family. We got 2 or 3. Honestly, the birthday party, you had 3 photos each.
Yep.
One of you with the presents, one of you with your friends, and one of you with the cake. That's it.
That's it.
Now,
that's all you're getting.
How many photos would people take of their kids? 100 at their birthday party?
Because right now, this is sounding very old, but you can take a photograph and send it to the world within 10 seconds.
Incredible.
Whereas in our day, put it on the thing, roll of film, finish the roll of film.
Take it to the chemist.
Take it to the chemist. They go to the chemist. Chemist stands at the back, goes through them.
Yeah, keeps the good ones. Literally 23 photos.
If you're a chemist, seriously.
Oh, they used to have a board out the back.
Did they?
Yeah. Well, someone told me they were working at chemist. The chemist had a board with all the rude ones on it.
Really? You would, wouldn't you, go? Because they were there. They were in an open pack.
Yeah.
You pull them out and someone's trip overseas, and
And then there's Keith from the hardware shop doing something dodgy. He's got that out the back. He's got a bit of He looks at Keith with a knowing nod. G'day, Keith. How are you, mate?
I wonder about that at the chemist. I wonder sometimes when I get something personal.
They talk about it.
Yeah,
definitely.
Because I think I go in there. I go, oh, great. No one's saying anything, and then I walk up. I think I've got this one covered. I walk up to the counter, and they go, oh, g'day, Glenn. I go, no, he knows now. He knows about the rash on my intimate area.
But I mean, how much would a chemist been relieved? Because remember, every chemist had a photo lab in it where they would do those instant photos for a while, and it must have been the 90s.
Yeah.
And this guy had spent 4 or 5 years at uni trained to be a pharmacist. Now he's just like a bloody factory worker.
I know.
And now that's all gone. All gone.
All gone. And now you can touch them up. You can make yourself look good. You can change.
Take it to Kmart or Officeworks, plug it in if you want to print them up. But how many people get them printed up, you reckon?
Not that much.
Not many.
And putting them in a frame and then putting them on the... I always wonder about that. You go, why have I got a picture of me? Why do I need to be reminded of me in a frame at the front door? Just so I know I'm in the right house?
He went to Daryl Summers' house and he had photos of himself down the corridor. And he got older.
Really?
He started off young. And then you walk down the corridor and you got older, like Dorian Gray. You go, oh, God, damn, yeah, apparently. Don't know if the ostrich was there. Anyway, let's have some thinking music.
Okay.
Selfie stuff. What is there any funny selfie bits?
This is something in a movie.
There's a funny Troy Kinney sketch about taking a selfie where the guy goes, oh, no, hang on a minute. I can't remember. Anyway, it was funny. It was a funny skit if you want to look it up.
Yeah.
What about yours? A bit of shark music?
Oh, we just have the shark music. On this show, I always enjoy when we play an old trailer because, as you said before, the trailer tells you the
whole story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Amityville. Is it Amityville?
Amityville Horror, yeah. The Red Room. Yeah.
Amityville. No, what was the island called?
Oh, you're right. I think it was Amityville.
Was it Amity or maybe the Amityville? Anyway, is there a trailer? And I'm going to say year of Jaws, 1975.
Yeah, 76.
70. I remember I was in year 12 and 2 big movies came out. There was Jaws and Exorcist. And they were the 2 big...
scary.
Scary? That's what bums on seats. Bums on seats for scary. Can we hear... and the trailers were like... We can't hear the whole thing.
No, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But it'll paint the picture of Jaws 1975.
There is a creature alive today who has survived millions of years of evolution. without change, without passion, and without logic. It lives to kill. A mindless, eating machine. It will attack and devour anything. It is as if God created the devil and gave him jaws.
Oh, yeah, scary.
That's good.
Scary.
I can trailers. What are they? They're different
Nah, they're
now,
not as
aren't they?
good. They're not as good now.
The trailer now too, basically, is the whole film.
Yeah,
I mean,
know.
an edited
the
version.
funny
of
jokes. The funny joke. The best
Yeah,
jokes.
and you go, what?
Yeah.
So I know that they don't reveal the important stuff, but okay.
Okay, so I'll have a crack. I reckon more people die from selfies than shark attacks. Because, there's always someone, there was someone recently who was terrible at the Grampians here in Victoria, maybe late last year, climbed over a fence to take a selfie, fell off, plunged to the death.
Yeah, I've got to be honest, that's exactly what I, because you can't think of anything else. I mean...
Well, it's the old vending machines and shark attacks. More people die from vending machine accidents than shark attacks in America.
Got to say, though, if you were... Yes, that's right. If you were to, that would be the ultimate selfie.
Oh, of you falling?
No, of you...
with a shark?
You with a shark. Going, I'm in the water, got my camera, here comes a shark.
Have you seen one of the people holding the one near the lines just before the lions attack them and kill one of them?
Oh, no.
Well, I don't know if it's true, but there's a famous one of this couple. I think they've shot one of the lions and they're standing there like, oh, look at us, and there's another lion coming in the background who's about to... Which is karma.
Oh, God.
Karma.
Because there was one recently, they showed it on Have You Been Paying Attention, where the guy had a selfie stick on top of his hat.
That's committed.
And I don't know how he did it, but he spun around so you saw the shark coming up to it. Didn't get him, and he was only on a like a boogie board or something. Inflatable. And it didn't. I don't know why it didn't get him, but he lived to tell it. And whenever you get that footage, you're always on the news.
Oh mate, that's guaranteed. He could sell that footage.
That's are you going
to say the same thing or?
Well, I can't think.
Nah, it must
be not unless.
Selfies and shark attacks.
Because it has to be something ongoing. It must, like the most famous selfie was with the shark.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to say the same as you, because shark attacks, you are inferring attack. It's not just selfies and sharks.
No,
it's shark attacks.
Shark attack.
So more, we're going to say, what are we going to say? More, we'll say it together as a team.
Okay.
We'll say more people die
from selfies than shark attacks.
Shark attacks.
All right, thanks, Sam.
More people have died because of selfies than shark attacks. The Journal of Family Medicine and Primary Care in India found that 259 people worldwide died in 137 selfie-related accidents between 2011 and 2017, compared to just 50 people killed by sharks.
Yes.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Imagine if you die from a shark attack while having a selfie. What would they do with the statistics?
Yeah.
I don't know, Neville. It was both. What box were we going to tick?
Yeah, I mean...
You have been listening to Somehow Related with Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
One thing I know is that I don't swim at dusk.
Oh, is that right?
I know you're a big beach goer. I know that.
I like the beach. I haven't been for a while, but you're more beach goer than me.
I don't swim on dusk or by myself, because I was swimming one day with my then girlfriend, and we were in the water, and we got when you're just nearly out of your depth.
Yeah.
And as we walked out of the shallows, a woman, and this was at Fairhaven, and she had a house up on the hill. She ran down and she said, "Oh, so glad you got out. You didn't realise how close the shark was next to you."
Really?
Yeah.
Have you ever? This is funny. There's a thing on Facebook. All the things. Have you ever been arrested? Have you ever blah blah? Have you ever skinny dip? You've skinny dipped a lot, haven't you?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, you ever skinny dip. Have you ever jumped a fence into a pool? Have you ever done that one? Have you jumped a fence to swim in a pool? Or
no, I have. Tell you what I have done. Can I tell you what I have done?
Yeah, go on.
Because when that period which you wrote a book about.
Yeah,
which is the period when you finish school
and you wait for your results.
And there was that window of where you either went and got a job or you didn't.
About 10 weeks.
Yeah, and she wasn't a real auntie, but she was a friend, but we called her auntie. And she had a. Selena and I were talking about this. She had the Clark rubber with decking around it.
Yeah, we had one of them.
Clark rubber.
4 foot.
Yeah.
Octagonal.
Yeah, with a filter.
Yeah, Mum and Dad had one.
Filter, and she said, anytime you like, you can come round because you've got nothing to do. Come round, have a swim, use the pool. I went, great. So I go around there by myself.
Oh, this is Mrs. Robinson.
Well,
Yes,
Mrs. Robinson goes wrong.
Mrs. Robinson. Yeah, go on.
Goes wrong. So anyway, I'm laughing.
You go around there.
So what was I? I don't know.
17.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe, having said that, maybe I'm mixing up my stories. Maybe this happened when I was a bit younger. I think this happened when I was a bit younger.
No, come
anyway,
on.
we're all in the pool, right? She's there. Mrs. Robinson's in the pool, right? Well, yeah, no, it was fine. It was a family day. Now I'm mixing up my stories.
Yeah, all right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
anyway, so can you do a dive? Yeah, can you do a dive? Can you swim from one end to the other? La-di-da-di-da. And then she goes, can you swim between my legs?
Yeah.
And I swam between her legs and kicked her right in the.
Oh no.
Well, I
Have your flippers on?
No,
No
it
flippers?
was a heel, and it went bang, got her right in the,
Yeah, between. Oh,
Yeah,
poor
got
Mrs. Robinson.
Mrs. Robinson. So anyway, why were we going to ask me that?
No, I just remember a story because when we were in a band, we toured to Sydney, and this was we would have been like 18 or 19, and we did some gig, and there was a pool in the middle of a park, right in the middle of Sydney, so we jumped the fence and went for a swim.
That's cool.
But then the cops came,
Oh!
and so the divvy van was, driving up the footpaths of the path. We jumped the fence and we start running, and the cop gets on the loudspeaker and he goes, "Boys, you can run, but you can't hide."
Cliched. Cliched.
He let us off with a warning. Anyway, good times.
You live to tell the tale.
Here we are.